Well. Well. It is Thursday. It is time for me to dive on into Disco Elysium again and suffer the consequences of my actions and my choices. No, I've been really enjoying the fact that this game has managed to find a unique solution to how do you allow a player to roleplay while also creating a player character who has a name, a face, relationships, a place in the world. That's really hard. I want to talk about that. Is that okay with you? Will you forgive me if I run my mouth a little bit about that? We've got a discourse button for that and everything. I don't even know if I have a full discourse in me, so maybe I'll spare you. No, I just really love the fact that there is indisputably a character with a personality and a history in this game, and we're trying to uncover that. So it's there. So it cannot get in the way of however you interpret this character, because he has lost touch with all of that. So there's been a heavy break. So if it's like he was that way then and he is this way now, like that they've kind of they've accommodated that, which is very clever. I was thinking at one point that they were making it so that his past would be shaped and the world would be shaped by the answers that you give, which is a thing that happens in some game that I've played that I can't think of what it is, unfortunately. But do you know what I mean? Where it's like, if people are like, gosh, we should go outside, there's a really great sunset, and you're like, I sure do love the green sunsets, and they're like, oh yeah, the green sunsets are great, and then because you chose the color green, now sunsets have always been green in this world. I thought maybe it would be something like that, but it does not seem to be the case. It seems like Harry's history is well developed and has a lot of depth, but they are able to accommodate multiple playthrough styles with him because he is an older character who has gone through, as far as I can tell, several iterations of himself already in life. So it doesn't feel unbelievable. Plus, the answers that they give him, well, they give you to give him. Okay, Kentucky Route Zero, that's probably what I'm thinking of. That sounds right. That sounds like what I was thinking of. There's a game I feel like I wasn't smart enough to play. But yeah, like, they have carefully and intentionally given you choices in dialogue and action that are consistent with a, like, if you have, like, here's, like, character, and here's, like it's like they're all within a certain radius of a core identity. Even if they're, like, on wildly different sides of that, they can still be, like, tethered to, like, one central piece. And so that way they can, it's not like they've given you wildly, like, this is the answer of a person that kicks puppies and this is the answer of a person who helps grandma across the road. No, they have written out, how would Ocelot kick puppies and how would Ocelot help grandma across the road, which is not something that BioWare does. BioWare does not have a predetermined personality in mind or character essence in mind when they design a character, because they want you to put it there. I don't enjoy that. It's just a huge number of people do. So it's super, like, again, what I'm saying here is not meant to say that they're doing it wrong, but that is the decision that they've made. And unfortunately, one of the downsides of having no core personality for your character is that the relationships between your character and other characters have to be able to work for, like, did you do the thing that makes this character like you? Then regardless of how you interpret your character, your relationship between your character and this character, they have to be able to have that relationship. And so there's a superficiality to it. And if you are the correct player for a BioWare game, you enjoy using your imagination to fill in those gaps. But the game itself doesn't provide you with that. You have to provide that. In the case of Disco Elysium, Harry is a defined person. Harry has a place in the world. And yet there are as many different Harrys going through this game, as many different Ocelots going through this game, perhaps, if I'm making that distinction between, like, pre-game event and in-game event. There are as many different Ocelots as there are players, if that makes sense. And I kind of wondered, how personal was it going to feel once I realized that he does have this set past. You don't control what happened in his past. Playing him as a nice guy here doesn't undo the bad things that he did in his past. And playing him as a bad person here, if you can do that, which I assume you probably can given some of the options you've had, does not undo some of the good that he did in a past era of his life either. So, that is... what's the word? It's set. It has happened. But one thing that really struck me during the dream sequence last time, which I loved, was that the options that I got, the skills that participated in that conversation, like, my lizard brain was, like, tearing into Ocelot, just like every self-loathing that it could throw at me. But my skills stepped up to defend Ocelot, to protect him, and they were all my friends. They were the skills that I use all the time, that when I see them, I am pleased to see them. I feel like I trust them and I know them. It's like your party member, like, your chosen party members are the ones that come in and have the moments. Like, if it's like one of those, it's like if you're, like, playing Suikoden and there's like 108 stars of destiny, but during this one pivotal scene, it chooses which characters you play with the most to come and participate in this scene, and you're like, oh, those are my friends. Then maybe not the same as everyone else's friends who plays with that scene. Maybe they have a slightly different selection of characters. The skills kind of are like that. So this was my Harry, my Ocelot, that I was experiencing that dream through. And I think that's neat because it's so clearly what they're doing. And I don't know if it's just that those tend to be most likely to pop up in my stream because of the way I built the game, or built the character, or if it's because I've chosen to respond to those. Like, I don't know whether those showed up during the dream for the same reasons that they show up a lot during my playthrough, or if they showed up during the dream because they show up a lot in my playthrough. If that distinction, I don't know if that distinction makes sense to people who aren't me, or if I'm communicating it well. But either way, like, it made it feel very personal and comfortable, which is not an experience that I usually, like, I don't usually feel comfortable with things in this game. And the dream itself, like hearing your brain tear into you is not a pleasant experience, but there was something almost comforting and reassuring about the fact that, like, these known skills that I trust, that I like, that I feel are on my side, were there with me, and I know them, and I know what they're like, and I know their shortcomings, and I have to keep those in mind when making decisions. But in the way that you can know the shortcomings of someone you like I love my mom, but she's never going to be on time to anything. I might have inherited a little of that. I'm not as bad, though. My mom was late to her own wedding, which was held in her own house, which she was already in. So, anytime you think I'm running late, just consider where I come from and what I could have been. Anyway, I just think that's a really noteworthy thing about this game, and I wanted to point it out because I am in a state of discomfort for most of my Disco Elysium playthrough. And it was nice to have a moment where I was like, these are my friends siding with me, and we're teaming up to try to defend poor Ocelot and keep him hanging in there. It's neat. It's a good effect. And we're only on day 3? We're on day 3. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? How am I like this? I don't know, but I am. So here we've got the pail exploding in the sky. Yes, dawn of the 3rd day indeed. Hold on. We're going to switch back though. I think that's all I wanted to say about that. Thank you for indulging me when I just want to ramble about a thing. And I'm sorry I didn't say hello to the folks who wandered in and said hello while I was on a tear. But if I stop to greet people while I'm on a tear, I'll lose my train of thought. And historically, like in the recent past, once I lose my train of thought, it's very hard for me to get it back. But I appreciate you all being patient with me. And we're gonna go here now. We're gonna play the game now. Are you ready to play the game? Well, ostensibly we're gonna play the game. By 2 o'clock, everyone's asleep. Ideally, by 2 o'clock, I too am asleep. So last time, as you may recall, we fixed the lock. And we came across to the other side. And it's the same song. That seems significant, doesn't it? Thank you for subscribing, Marvin. All right, well, thanks for dropping by, Prosebuds. It was good to see you live, and I hope you enjoyed. There's a lot more to watch. And somebody else popped in that I think I missed saying hello to, but yes, Chernobyl, you just missed me rambling about the skills and the dream of the second night. But now we're gonna dive in and play the game. It's great. We're not doing anywhere. We haven't taken a step. Haven't done anything. So the game itself has warned me not to go too far and get too distracted because I have things. Okay, I have a sad song on tape. I got that. Unfortunately, I now have the saddest song on tape. And worst of all, I have told the boy that Ocelot likes that I'm going to sing karaoke. So now I'm obligated to do it. I wasn't going to. I was going to just not do it. I was going to say, no, that's too embarrassing. I would never. But Ocelot wants to impress this boy, this theater boy. So he's going to sing a sad song. And I have a sad song. I need to play it. Okay, I need to find a sufficiently tragic tape. Then play it on a boombox to memorize the lyrics. This is going to be like the aria from Final Fantasy VI. Except not. It's great. I can sing along with Ocelot. He has a huge soul. No, that's true. He does. Well, the thing is, he does, though. At least he has the capacity to have such big feelings. What did I get? Okay, this one is done. So we'll open up a new area in Martinez. Thank you, Resolution Blaze. And thank you for coming back. All right. So I've got a bunch of things to do. I need to sing karaoke. I need to look to see who called in the crime. I need to show some people the victims. I need to ask people about these tattoos. I should probably figure out. I should probably do that. I should probably do that. I'm still investigating the jam mystery, which I need to do this in order to get Joyce's information. So I think I have to go talk to some more drivers. Although the only lady driver is the pale driver. The long haulsman, I think, is what she prefers to be called. I have not tracked down my badge, but I will look for it. I kind of feel like it's possible that Mr. Everard has it. But we'll see. Because that would be a really bad thing. It would be really bad for me for him to have it. I don't know when I can ask Kim about this. I haven't done a lot on day 3. I talked to presumably Ocelot's former, well, other partner. And a lady who feels bad for him. Well, probably for both of them, honestly. And then we came out here and we are exploring the other side of Martinez. And I'm just going over what I have to do. I need to call Alice about that. I need to, I need to do. I don't know how to do that. This may take a while. It is very nice of them to say it may take a while. Yes, Alolan Dugtrio, which, by the way, you'll be glad to know, everybody. It's not just the regular Dugtrio. It's not just the regular Alolan Dugtrio. It is, in fact, Alolan Dugtrio with sunglasses. Thank you very much to the Twitter account that exists to put sunglasses on images of Pokemon. Sometimes the internet is a good thing, okay? I want to go and explore the rest of this area. I know it's probably not what I'm supposed to be doing. It's definitely not what I'm supposed to be doing. But I want to explore it. Like, this is bad news. Somebody crashed a car and abandoned it. Potentially. Or else it's just a car that's been left here to rot. I'm not sure. But there's footprints going there. Notice the footprints, Ocelot. Notice them. Wait, the music stopped. This is concerning. Banged up fuel canister. A bottle drained of all its booze is frozen to the ice. Looks like there's a bird sitting there. But it's not actually a bird. It's actually just one of these things from a different angle. Oh, look at that. It's a little bit of money. Sure, I'll take your 20 cents. I am concerned there's footsteps walking around here.
A banged-up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Insulindian Ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible. It must be cold and lonely down there, in the icy water.
Empathy, I don't need any help personifying inanimate objects. Thank you. Anthropomorphizing. I'm just... Let's see. A carriage in the sea? Where did this come from?
My guess is it started its journey from the plaza, where it backed through the fence.
Let's investigate, Kim.
I agree. We should definitely investigate.
The lieutenant replies, a curious look in his eyes.
You get a sudden, sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water.
Did I do this? Did I get drunk and crash this car?
Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. Some motor carriages are bound to end up in the sea.
Volition, I'm not sure that I believe that it is fated that some cars go into the ocean. You know? Maybe that's just me. I'm gonna see if I can look at all of this. Hopefully, this one looks like this is a... How do I know that name? Where's that name coming from? Who is Jacob I don't remember. Oh, I can look at my journal. Can I look at my journal? Like, that is a name that I've seen before from looking at a book. Okay, the bookstore. Okay, actually, hold on. Before we progress. So that I don't angst, I'm sorry, I do this a lot because I don't know if this game has tells for this that I'm just not picking up on. Do I only get one answer here, or one response here, or can I ask multiple questions? I can ask multiple questions. All right. Good. Usually when you can investigate things, that's the answer. But I don't always trust that. Let's check it out, shall we? Run your hand over the cold metal.
The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of specialists.
This is fascinating because I have literally no frame of reference. Like, there's no cars getting stuck in ice in Texas. It's just not a thing. It's just, Ocelot is having a response to this. And I don't know if it's because he did this somehow, or if this is because he, on some level, is aware that he could have done this. Okay. What is the make of this motor carriage? I assume is what MC stands for. Can I see a logo? See, look, I'm a detective. I'm doing detective work. I'm investigating.
The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out, but you do see a monkfish float by.
They really want to reinforce the fact that it's in water. There's water. Water. Have you realized that it's water yet? How long has it been here?
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
So I could have done this. This could have been me. That could be why Kim is looking at it with a curious look on his face. Because I would normally expect Kim to be like, let's not get bogged down in investigating something that's outside of our own investigation. But this could also be related to our investigation as well. Oh man. I don't know what monkfish look like, but I feel like I've heard that name before. I could look that up. Yeah, this could actually be related to our investigation, but no. If it's since last Saturday or Sunday, that's been 5 days. So that wouldn't be. But it could be me. I still think it could be me. Okay.
The estimate is correct. The incident probably occurred on Sunday evening.
Thank you, Visual Calculus. I don't know how you know this, Ocelot, but you do. Sunday evening. I was definitely... Monday is the day the game starts, right? You wake up Monday morning, right? You thinking what I'm thinking? Mr. Ocelot, if you walked away from this somehow, I'm impressed. Okay. Well. Looks like Jacob Er's journey came to an abrupt end here. All right. Ocelot has remembered something I do not remember. In my defense, it's probably been 6 months in my life since that happened. And for him, it's been like a day or two. So, I'm playing with a handicap. Well. Looks like Jacob Er's journey came to an abrupt end here.
Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
It's just like, I'm not participating in this. Oh, man. Did you say something, Lieutenant? Or Yes, yes. Crazy recklessness. You rub your chin. Or yet another case of the engine displacement triumphing over the driver's IQ. Or enough gloating. This is serious. Oh, was he a racer? Was I reading a thing about a race car driver or something like that? Okay. See, because I don't actually remember it, but I'm going off of context clues here. Ah. High-speed love detail a relationship between Jacob and another racer. Controversial celebrity racer. Okay. This is related to, I'm gonna have to, hold on. I wanna look. I'm not gonna use an item. I just wanna look at the item. But I can't. I need the context game. I don't have any memory. Gonna have to. I can't do this. Ocelot remembers better than I do. How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing is that? Didn't I get wasn't this like in a pamphlet or one of the books that I read or something like that? Didn't I have, or was it back in the office and I couldn't bring it with me, but I read it while I was there? Not the little office. It was in the office. Okay. I do I have it? Like, is it a communist pamphlet? Does the communist pamphlet have a thing about racing in it? Or was that a separate thing? Really? Okay, yeah. Okay, that's what I thought kind of. I knew that I had an item that I was thinking of that I thought I actually got from there, but I read it there, but I thought that I actually brought it with me. I want to read. Oh, I have to pick an answer while pretending I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that means that this is probably actually secretly a communist answer with clown shoes, because you're reciting what you read in the pamphlet. I will not be doing that. Thing is, I'm pretty sure that this is actually me. I'm pretty sure this is actually me. I don't know that I trust everything that I read in a pamphlet. It's hardly peer reviewed, and even sometimes peer reviewed things can be questionable if there's a certain bias in the publication and who the journal chooses to referee the papers. So generally speaking, it's good to take a healthy dose of skepticism when receiving information. A lot. I kind of feel like there might be something comforting in being able to just trust someone or something to be right all the time and to be smart all the time and to have the answers and to tell you the truth. Like, on one hand, it feels like that would be really comforting on some level. Like being a little kid, a really, really little kid. But I don't think I'm capable of feeling that way towards anything. I don't think I'm capable of that kind of trust. And I don't know that it's a bad thing to not have that kind of faith or trust as an adult. But it's one of those things that, like, I'm like, oh, wouldn't that be nice? But I don't think I'm wired to have that. I think I question things too much. That is one thing that my parents drilled into me. Always question authority. Always question everything. Much to their dismay, I learned that lesson. Sometimes it was very frustrating for them when I'd be like, but why? Go to your room. Don't eat that. Don't do that. But why? But why? But they never got mad at me because they knew that the reason why I was that way is because they taught me that way, because they thought that I should be that way. So they were like, God damn it. And then they'd give me the explanation. And so I try when I was a nanny, I would always try to explain things to the kids as much as I could. Like, don't jump off that swing set, because I was swinging on that swing set and I saw a kid jump off and break his leg next to me. So they didn't do that. They listened to me. It was good. They probably would have been fine, but you know, I didn't want that happening. Certainly not on my watch. Anyway, that's a tangent. But yeah, I think that's part of why I can't align myself with a political movement. I think I am just too inherently uncomfortable at the idea of signing up and being like, yeah, that sounds good. Let's join them. Like, I just can't do it. I just don't think I could join a political movement. Just like I'm not sure I'm capable of joining a religious group unless it's like built foundationally on questioning things, which is the case with some. I am a contrarian, no, that's true. But like a contrarian is kind of like disagreeing for disagreement's sake, or doing the opposite of what you're told to do. Isn't it? Is it not? Is there a specific definition of contrarian that I don't know? Because I consider myself to be a contrary person. Oh. Okay, Chrono, look. I have to take everything seriously at all times. Otherwise I wouldn't be Lauren. I see, yes, no. He's being clever. He's playing 4D chess and I'm not picking it up. I'm sorry. But yeah, I find the idea of falling in line with someone or something else like really uncomfortable. So, yeah. I don't know how I got... Oh, we were talking about the pamphlet. Yeah. I'm sorry, folks. I don't think that's going to happen. Like, I can say with a fair bit of confidence, I consider myself to be anti-capitalist. I think that's probably pretty clear. This is probably not shocking news to any of you who've been paying attention to me as I talk while playing this game, because it comes up in this game. It's very relevant, you know? Shockingly relevant. But this is part of why, like, I'm sorry. I know some of you are really excited at the thought of me, like, becoming communist over the course of playing this game and seeing things in the world. I'm like, no. I might walk alongside the communists. I might be like, yeah, we are on board with some of these things, and I will work with you on those things and agree with you on those things. But I don't think I'm going to join a political movement. I don't think I have enough faith to do that. I think that requires more faith than I am physically capable of. So, sorry. But it's okay. We can walk together part of the way. Just know that I'll call it out if I think there's bullshit along the way, too. Which, ideally, even people who are following something, should be able to call out bullshit. This is where nationalism and patriotism kind of run into conflict. I would think that if you are a proud American, you would very loudly criticize this country, be in the front row of criticizing the country for failing to live up to its ideals. You know? because that should be what you should stand for. If you stand for the ideals that supposedly the country was founded for, then you should be loudmouth yelling about its shortcomings. But then you have people who are like, no, if you're connected to, attached to this country, then you shouldn't criticize it. And I'm just like, oh, what is wrong with you? Yeah. And of course, like, you know, we can say what was the US actually founded on? Like, what is the actual, like, moral foundation of the nation? And that is a different conversation and a very, very valid one. But there are people who seem to believe that one of the foundational, like, this is who we are, should be that we are, you know, independent and we seek justice and, you know, liberty and justice for all is what we're standing on. Like, that is what we are. And so if you feel allegiance to the country because you believe in that, then you call out when the country fails to do that, which is, by the way, a lot of the time, perhaps all the time. But it's a very interesting conversation to have, to be like, the reason why I would criticize the US is not because I was just like, man, I think this country should burn in hell. No, I was like, I want this country to do better. You know? And that was the thing that people had a hard time wrapping their head around. And I think part of that is because a lot of people culturally, whether they actively participate and consciously believe in this faith or not, a lot of people in the US have a cultural foundation in a dominant culture that says you don't challenge authority, you don't question things, and you do have faith. And that's just really not how I was raised or who I am. So there's a disconnect there. Anyway, I got off on a tangent. I'm just thinking about stuff, man. I don't even think I'm stalling with this one. I just had a thought and I had to say it out loud. So yeah. Hate to crush your dreams, communists. I just lack the faith to be a communist. Oh man. There's goods and bads, I'm sure. You can sometimes get more done if you have a whole bunch of people who all share a faith in something and work together instead of stopping to question themselves and it every passing second. But do you think that I'm going to stop and question things every possible second? Writhe around in doubt and uncertainty? What, me? Indecisive? Unsure? Questioning things? Never. Oh, man. Anyway, yeah. But it's hard to get things done if you're busy questioning everything. I'm excited about playing Talos too, but I have to make sure that everyone else has played it enough that they can help me with the puzzles. That's part of why we're waiting. Also, because normally I would say Talos should go on Thursdays. But my Thursdays are occupied for the foreseeable future. Oh, all right. I'm not going to say this. I'm not gonna repeat what the pamphlet says, because that's not how I do things. I'm not gonna poke Kim. Kim clearly disapproves of this. I'm not gonna give him a hard time about that. I guess I should put my clown shoes away. I have no fun. I am no fun. Although I will say, I'm sorry, when I'm playing a video game and somebody says this is serious, this is serious. Time to get serious. I think of Mega Man X. All right. Look, I am what I am. Serious Harry. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Chronos got it. Good, good. Well done. I'm obligated here to mention the fact that I ran a tabletop game set in the Mega Man X universe with homebrew system and custom built Reploid set. And just... Anyway. I'm a nerd, folks, if you didn't know. Oh, maybe I get my brain back. I'll be able to, like, run in and or play in. God, words. Tabletop. Why are you gloating? I guess that was kind of a mean thing to say. Pretty sure it's my own crazy recklessness, and I'm kind of worried that if I point that out, Ocelot is going to take psychic damage if I set him up for it. The car is gloating? You think the car is gloating? Well, why don't I weirdly veer into clown shoes and then veer away from clown shoes? Although if this is communist, it kind of makes me wonder whether this is like centrist and this is fascist, like secretly somehow. Trying to force him to get into line with you. Questioning, taking too much, like taking action. We can't have that. Taking action is reckless. You should just sit still. Just don't drive. That's the most moralist thing you can do. There could be political stances. I don't know. This game likes to put them in weird places and then laugh. I'm gonna swerve back to seriousness, I think, where I am most comfortable. Enough gloating. This is serious.
Yes, quite.
Yes! I think he thinks this is me too. I think he thinks this is me too. Kim, I'm with you on this. Kim, if I could reach through the game and be like, I get it. I'm pretty sure. The time works out just right. There's booze. There's the sinking feeling in Ocelot's stomach. All of these things come together to make me think that this was his car. Ocelot. Ocelot, my friend. You are lucky you're not dead. Or maybe you're dead. Maybe you're like a revenant or something like that. You never know. Cannot pass on until this case has been solved. Kim is looking at him going, dude, where's your car? Yes. Yes. What should we do? No.
Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
I'm going to do this one, actually. I'm going to do this crazy recklessness one. I'm going to set myself up for this.
Yes. Crazy recklessness. I'd say it has been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
Yes, it's me. I get it. I understand. I just dunked on myself. I just had to do it. I like both of those answers now. I've said them both. There's no benefit to it, but I did it. What should we do?
Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
Great idea. Then we can get the things inside. The joyrider must have left something good inside. Guns, papers, maybe a cool jacket. A joyrider jacket.
Maybe my badge. That's how we'll know that it's mine. It would make sense. It would make sense for his badge to be in there so that we can have 100% confirmation that it's him. And that way there's time limit on when I can get my badge back.
A joyrider jacket. You feel a strange connection to this joyrider. Maybe he's from some kind of joyriders district and likes blue and white racing livery, like a cop would.
Ocelot, my man. I know someone who got drunk, rammed a car into a tree, got out, and was like, well, I clearly can't be trusted driving, and did not drive for like 6 or 7 years. Until they had gotten a handle on things. Which I think is the right response to having done something like that. What I'm saying, Mr. Man, Ocelot, sir, is that you should not be driving. Did he try? Seeing a picture here, seeing a man in drunken despair ramming him like trying chaotically, trying to get into the sea, and he can't even do that. He can't even drown himself, so he hauls himself out of his car and staggers drunkenly back to the Whirling in Rags and continues to get drunker and drunker and smashing things more and more violently and angrily. That if he couldn't kill himself with his car, he'll do it with the booze. This is a clear picture that I don't know if that's exactly how things played out, but it would also potentially add some, like, there could be some head trauma in addition to the alcohol poisoning that is resulting in his memory loss. In that case, he could have had a concussion of some sort, depending on how things go with the car. But I absolutely can see him, like, impotent with this rage of, like, I can't even do this, kicking the car for good measure and staggering away. So, yeah. Well, that'll be fun. I wonder whether he's going to take psychic damage for that discovery, probably. How long will it take for the low tide to come in?
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
Sit on the swing and wait for the tide to recede. Okay.
As you sit down in the old, rusty playground, the world around you becomes very silent.
There was another thought. I hope I haven't lost it. Over there. It's interesting the way Kim is sitting. Kim is not sitting like he's on a swing set. Like, he is not comfortable, I think, swinging on a swing set. But Ocelot here is actually swinging a little bit. Because he has no shame. I really like swing sets. sitting on a swing set or swinging on a swing set is like one of the most grounding things for me. I used to go sit on the swing set and play the playground of the elementary school near my mom's house when I was in high school, and going through it. That was an escape for me, and even now I find it really, really comforting. So
Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea.
I can say, hold on, it looks very blue. Point to the sunken vehicle. I can whistle a tune, I only get one try, or I can wait in silence. Almost 3 and 4 odds of getting it. I have to try this. I can't not try to whistle a tune. Let's see what happens, shall we? All right, Ocelot.
The tune on your lips forms a strange yet undeniably beautiful contrast with the surrounding bleakness.
Oh, that's nice.
The lieutenant gives you a quick glance, then, still looking straight ahead, he joins you with a higher pitched and slightly more melodic trill.
Our boys are whistling together. I hope somebody's drawn fan art of this.
2 birds on a wire, whistling by the seaside, looking at the water and the sunken car.
Those sound like lyrics.
The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed.
They really, really want you to feel this. You're having to pay in time to make this happen. They really want the presence and weight of this. Like, this has to be something significant. It's not just some random thing. I mean, it's clearly not just some random thing. I feel like there's enough pieces that, like, you have to be able to piece this together before Ocelot does.
Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
Okay, so we're not going to pick... This first one feels like Ocelot's going to mean, did your dad have bad eyesight? And Kim is going to interpret it as Ocelot's being racist. I'm guessing. Or does he mean, I guess that's what he means? I'm not sure. Would you rather sit on an anthill for an hour or stand in a river of leeches? Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Okay, well, we're not going to pick option 1. Well, so I'm thinking about it. Anthills suck a lot. But if you're not allergic to ants, you're probably not going to die. But if a bunch of leeches all attach to you for an hour and also you're in the river and it's cold, you might actually die. So I'm inclined to say... I'm less worried about the leeches hurting you and more worried about the leeches killing you, man. You're in a river. Rivers are cold. And yeah, and also, like, If you just sit on an anthill, like, the ants might leave you alone. Okay, well, probably we can tell which of us are from the southern half of the US and have experience with fire ants. When I went to grad school, I did a program that was based in Maine, and so I would go and do some residencies in Maine, and you could walk around barefoot outside in the summer. You could walk around in the grass barefoot. They don't have fire ants there. Can you imagine? Like, I couldn't bring myself to do it. I was like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. I have definitely fucked with fire ant hills and paid the price repeatedly as a kid. If you don't have experience with fire ants, count yourself lucky. Who here has never been bit by a fire ant? I'm really curious. Because their territory, of course, has spread with the change of weather and climate. But I'm curious, who has never? Okay. Do you live in areas where fire ants are found? Oh, man. Okay, well. Yeah. Well, we moved from North Carolina, where they were somewhat less prevalent, to Texas, where they are fucking everywhere. And, I kicked one over once on the playground. Because I didn't know any better, because we had just moved, and I was antsy. Because, I don't know. Anyway, that was bad. I learned that you, like, punch or stomp on a fire ant bite. Because the pain is less bad than the itch. Wow, okay, well, I'm glad for those of you who didn't. I messed around in the dirt and picked up rocks and sticks and climbed on like mud piles and stuff a lot as a child, so yeah, no, they're really, really itchy. Like, they're just miserable critters. I am not a fan. Not a fan. All right. I have to pick an answer. The tide sure is taking its sweet time, doesn't have enough personality. I had a sweet moment with him. But I think I'm gonna ask this question. Let's just have a weird conversation. Let's have a weird conversation with Kim. Insects are wild. They are wild. There's a lot of them. Okay. Would you rather sit on an anthill for an hour or stand in a river of leeches? I'm just dying to see whether Kim actually takes this seriously and starts thinking about it and, like, debating the merits of each side. Or it's just like, all right.
Well, historically, leeches have been used to prevent and even cure many ailments.
Thank you, Kim. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that Kim. Well, see, the thing is, in this game, I picked an answer that I didn't think of the weird, creepy way that it could come across, because for me, if I were to say it, it wouldn't have been a weird and creepy thing. And I think they've made it clear that Ocelot will say things not with the worst of intent, but you can interpret it very easily that way, though. So that, to me, that feels like a thing that they do with their writing of him. He is very much, like, it feels like a lot of times he's more foot and mouth than he is malicious. If that makes sense. A river of leeches. Yeah, maybe it is flowing leeches instead of like cold water up to your waist at most, because otherwise it's gonna. Water's really strong. It weighs a lot, but it's really strong. If you, by the way, if you find yourself in a battle with water, you're gonna lose. I'm sorry. You're gonna lose. Like, just don't. Just, like, don't battle water. It will win. You cannot win against it. I'm sorry. You can't.
Okay, he's thinking. I can do this. Let's do this. Who'd want to sit on an anthill? There are no therapeutic benefits to.
I love this. He's like, okay, we can have this conversation. This is an okay conversation. However, the fact that this gets cut off makes me a bit nervous.
Well, napalm ants, for example, are used in some rites of passage rituals.
Are those real creatures? Do those exist in our world? Because I can kind of imagine what that would be. And I don't think I want it. I don't think I want it. Bullet ants. I think I might have read about those. Isn't there a guy who went around being like bit and stung by all the all the bugs so he could rank them on like how much they hurt? Right? I don't remember what the scale is. That is a man choosing to suffer for the well-being of mankind. So, like, he's the living expert on pain from bug bites. So if he says you can tell a difference and rank them, I'm not going to disagree with him. Oh, man. What is the name of that scale? What does he call that scale? Did he name it? Did somebody else name it? I feel like it's a scale. Like it's if you look up like the most painful animal bites, or not animal bites, bug bites, like it'll be like this ranks a like the pain scale. A smoky sort of pain, like someone extinguishing a cigar on your tongue. Yeah. No, that is an interesting character. That is an interesting character.
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swingset keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
Okay, well, I'm glad to see that my thought is still there. Those. I think that one's about the footprints, though. I like how there's always like an answer or a question that is just complaining about how long it's taking. Because you could just be like, fuck it, whatever. But, oh no. Mr. Bugbite Pain Scale Man passed away? Well, he lived a life that will be remembered for a long time. So he can be, He did a lot of good for the world. I think it's probably very useful to have that information. But also, damn. Right? Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go with... Because there is... Do you think I will ever find my gun? Or, man, this is taking a long time. But the question that I really, really want to ask is, if you have to side with either the strikers or the shipping company, who would you choose? So we're going to ask that now. I'm really curious to hear what Kim has to say.
Luckily, I am already a member of an independent organization, and therefore do not have to choose between a rock and a hard place.
Kim is like, no, you cannot make me do this. But if someone puts a gun to your head, or I guess that's just your way of saying you'd side with the company, or I understand. You're saying you're siding with the Union. He's not going to take all to one. However, I feel like that's the answer. I feel like that's what you have to do. You have to escalate it. It's Ocelot. He's a little bit escalating. So we're going to say, but if someone puts a gun to your head, like, no, seriously, come on, man. You can't get out of this one. What would you pick?
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Oh, this is taking longer than I thought it would. Okay. So I did not pick the right answer. Maybe if I'd asked about the gun, he would have actually talked to me about that. Oh, well. That's fine. Can you make out the mark now?
Detective, I've been able to make out the mark ever since we arrived. I find it odd that you haven't. It's a Coupri, Model 40.
Oh, man. Okay. Two things here. One, obviously Kim knows exactly what kind of car it is. He's a gearhead, so he knows these things. Two, note that we didn't have the option to even ask this question of our known gearhead companion earlier. And presumably it's not hard to see what kind of car this is. But sometimes when people want to avoid noticing something, they don't notice it, even if it's so obvious that the only way you could avoid noticing it is if you were trying. So yeah, Kim is like, come on, man. Come on. His eyes turn to you.
It is a simple and rugged machine, favored by working men, government offices, firefighters, animal control people. You know, those kinds of people.
You know, like cops. Members of the RCM. Squint your eyes and say, is that a number on the side? No! No! Alright, here we go. Brace yourselves.
Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
Oh my god. Oh my god. He's trying so hard to lead Ocelot to it. Because if somebody is resisting a thing, then telling them is probably not going to make them accept it either. You kind of have to get them to be the one to say it. It makes sense. Like, Kim is used to dealing with messed up people.
It's as if he knows what it stands for, but wants you to say it. It's pedagogical.
Is it? I mean, it's a pedagogical teaching technique, but in this case, I think it's more psychological.
Does he know something about the driver of this vehicle?
Oh my god. They're really tracking it out. I can't handle this. Oh my god. 41 is his rank in the underground street racing hierarchy. Small fish, this one. This must be Tommy 41, the morning host of FM 41. Looks like the factory made a mistake and accidentally called this one Coupri 41. Stupid factory. I hate guessing. District something? A precinct? Something municipal? Rub your temples, you're getting a horrible headache. Or just... oh god. No. These are really good. So now I have to ask myself, based on how I've been role-playing Ocelot this far, Is it the most in character for him to be arriving there and be like kind of going sideways around it, but still getting there? Or to just put it together and be like, oh shit. I'm gonna make an executive decision. It may be less fun, but I'm gonna say that Ocelot has shown himself to be, when he is able to be a detective, when he is able to detect. There's got to be a better verb for that. But when he's able to do that, he can piece things together. He can put things together. And it's not that you have to kind of lead yourself to it. It's that it snaps. And he's been resisting it snapping. But I think Kim has led him enough that he can't look away. And even in his condition, and even aggressively trying not to recognize this, I think that it would be in character. I think it would be in character for my Ocelot to piece that together without having to take that one last step. As fun and dramatic as that one last step is. Let's see if we take morale damage. It'd be very exciting. Oh God, no.
I'm sorry, Harry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Wow, Kim is a very compassionate person. Like, his interest in this is not to make Harry feel bad about it, but to get at some truth and to work through things that happened. Can you get to this point, I wonder, without having found out what your real name is? I'm pretty sure you get called Harry prior to this. But maybe they assume even a Lauren will have done some of that. Something. No, Everard does, but I don't know that you have to have talked to Everard prior to the third morning. I think you could go longer. So I wonder if Kim has to know a few things about you. They have to have told him you're meeting with this guy. You're meeting with Precinct 41's resident fuck up. His name is Harry Dubois. Good luck. I'm glad that, yeah, maybe he would say detective instead. But I like that it feels more intimate and human and personal for him to call you by your name here. And it's sweet. He's trying to be gentle.
41. Precinct 41. A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes over you.
The screen is getting darker.
No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
Normally, listening to Volition is a good choice. But let's see what happens if I say no. No. Yes, Everard calls him Harry because Everard knows who you are, but we don't know conclusively that he has my badge or where he got that information from. And you don't have to have spoken to Everard before you get here. This is time-based, not event-based. Yes, that is a lot of punctuation marks. How many actually is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's like a Suikoden 2 line. 21 punctuation marks. Yes, blue glasses on the same the same page as me. If anyone hasn't played Suikoden 2, you'll be able to play it with a new translation soon. And then it won't have an entire row of punctuations. Or a cat that says honk. But there's something charming about that. All right. It is really interesting. Yeah, volition is so often the trustworthy one, the safe one, the one that you listen to. When volition says do it or don't do it, you listen to volition. I don't know that the honking cat is as famous as the Spoony Bard line. It's I don't know. Also, I think this Suikoden series is a little less like mainstream and obsessively loved. You know, let's go ahead and listen to volition and see what happens. No.
Yes, your car is in the sea. Face it, so we can start dealing with this.
So I can either say no, I mean seriously, it's just a coincidence. Yes, so Kim is gentle with you when you are dealing with it, but he is also going to be a bit forceful and make you actually have to deal with it. Which, to be fair, you do have to actually deal with it. You are actually a grown-up, so I guess we're gonna go with it. All caps. Oh my god, it's mine! I drove my car into the sea! Followed by 21 punctuation marks. That is appropriately unhinged for this realization. He's gonna he's clearly shouting. I wonder if he's going to stand up when he says this and go like this.
I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you drove your police motor carriage into the sea after you jumped across the canal.
Yeah. Oh no. Sorry. I did kind of wonder whether that was me that had driven across the canal. Because there was the big piece of metal that got knocked over. Yeah, Kim is good at piecing things together. I tried, Kim. I did. So I can say, maybe I was in pursuit of someone. Or, how do we get it out? Or, I can still fix it. Or, they're not going to take me back again after this, are they? Or, the badge, the gun, and now this. Things were going so well. We were just whistling merrily. I think I can actually probably ask all of these because conclude is at the bottom. So we're going to ask all of these. Okay. Maybe I was in pursuit of someone.
Of whom? I don't think so. If anything, you were probably drunk.
Yeah, the lieutenant looks skeptical. How do we get it out?
Detective, we don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point.
He says almost gently. So it's just gonna be there like that?
I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for many years. Look at it. Parts of it might be salvageable, but overall, this machine is a write-off.
I can still fix it.
That is very unlikely. All the electrics are toast. That goes for the electromagnetic steering and brake systems as well.
Ah, yes. Here is the gearhead letting us know that it's not just that it's inconveniently located. The water will have ruined everything in the vehicle as well.
You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. In a few months, there will be nothing but rust left of this vehicle. It'll be cheaper to buy a new one. Well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this.
Ooh. I can say, I don't have that kind of money, or I couldn't even pay a hostel bill. People are going to be angry at me, aren't they? In Precinct 41, or all caps, this is a disaster. I'm going to say I couldn't even pay a hostel bill.
Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my kinema.
Oh, this isn't like every cop. This is an important bit of world building to let you realize the gravity of what's happened. This isn't just every cop has a car and you happened to run yours into the ground. Well, the sea, as it is. You are one of a handful of cars.
This was 20% of the station's vehicular budget.
Wow. What were they thinking? Letting him do this. They're not going to take me back after this, are they?
People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly.
He's trying to cheer you up now. Yeah. The badge, the gun, and now this.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and doesn't say anything.
Well, you tried very, very hard to self-destruct. And you didn't manage to pull it off. And so now I'm going to try to help you pick up the pieces.
There is also a 4th thing you've lost.
Okay, Inland Empire, because this is you, I'm assuming this is going to be an intangible. My sense of self, my memory, my identity. A 4th thing?
More precious than the gun, the badge, and the motor carriage combined. Lost forever into the deepest of seas.
Okay, that's, I think, probably my intangible sense of self. My hope, my honor, my identity, my something. Things were going so well, we were just whistling merrily.
You can still whistle. Besides, the night is always darkest before the dawn.
The lieutenant says with a smile. Kim is like, this is bad, but life can go on. That's a valuable life lesson. I don't know how many of you are prone to catastrophizing, but one of the things that I have had to learn as a person who has worked very, very hard at achieving a degree of emotional and mental stability that was beyond, I think, what anyone would have expected possible for me. One of the things is learning to tolerate, be able to handle feelings of guilt, disappointment, being a failure, that sort of thing. So being in a bad situation where everything feels like it's at an end. If you have really big feelings and not a really great inherent sense of perspective, then the amount of pain that you feel when something goes wrong is intolerable. It cannot be borne because you just have too much pain and not enough ability to withstand it. It's like if your skin had been burned and then you touch that, a little touch is still going to hurt like hell, and a big touch is going to be way more than you can handle. And it's not that you're being dramatic, it's that you're in a lot of pain. Lacking a sense of self, lacking a sense of identity, but on a fundamental core, this is a problem that we need to work on in therapy in a very major way, is kind of like having your emotional self be constantly in a state of burn sensitivity. And so you have to learn to tolerate a greater level of discomfort than a lot of people ever have to deal with, just because it just hurts worse. But you also have to... You do have to learn to internalize the fact that your catastrophizing may be your first instinct, but you can't listen to it. So you kind of have to build this state of like kind of like almost cognitive dissonance where you're like, I am feeling like this is the end of the world and there's literally no way I can possibly come back from this, and everything is going to slide into the ocean and it's just going to be the end of life as I know it, and I might as well just stop existing now. I may feel that, but rationally, I know I am aware that that's not actually the truth. I know that's not actually the truth, no matter how much I feel it. And you kind of have to learn to hold both of those thoughts in you at the same time, and then start acting on the latter, even when it hurts like hell, because the former is still screaming at the top of its lungs in your head. It's not easy and it's not fun, but it can be done. So if you're working on it, it gets better. It does get better. It does hurt less and it does become easier, but it is an effort getting there. So best wishes to all of you who are working on that. No. It will hurt like hell to get there, and it's not easy, and you'll still slip up sometimes, but it does get a lot easier. It does get a lot better. It also helps sometimes when you're able to see other people who are catastrophizing, and you're able to see from the outside what they're catastrophizing about, and what you, as somebody in the outside not feeling that pain, can see as the truth of the situation. Part of you, after you've been working on this a bit, is like, wait, is that what it looks like when I do that? Oh, and that's a useful perspective. So, man, we sure are talking about some things tonight. Anyway, Ocelot on his own is clearly not equipped to deal with this level of pain and discomfort of having failed so miserably and let people down so profoundly. He wants to escape from having done this, but he is not alone in carrying this. We as the player are here to help him carry this and make decisions, and Kim is here to help him not be alone. And so between us and Kim, he will hopefully be able to tolerate and bear this and get through this, and life will go on. Whatever the other side looks like, there will be another side. And the night is always darkest before the dawn is I think a really good, it's a good thing to hold on to. It's a good thought. I wrote a song sort of based on a song from Transistor, but I basically made up a song wholesale around a chord progression from the song in Transistor and wrote lyrics, and it was about basically stop wallowing in your depression, and like you're the only one who can get yourself out of it, so fucking take that step. I wonder if anyone listens to that song ever. Probably not. Anyway, are you ready to move on with Ocelot's Happy Fun Time? By the way, did you notice we did in fact take a morale hit for that? I over-predict when I'm going to take a morale hit, but I don't know that I've taken a morale hit and not anticipated that it was possible. Okay. Well, at least I can see what's in there now.
Yes. Let's go take a look.
Find the traffic hooligan. Plus 10 experience. You get a lot of experience for doing that. Find the traffic hooligan. A half-insane joyrider has jumped over the canal. See if you can find evidence of his reckless activity in West on the coast. Oh, wow. I was supposed to look at stuff and see that. But I did not look at that. I just wandered over here. You found the joyrider's vehicle. See what's inside to identify his identity. Let's go take a look. Okay, well, I guess we'll do that. What did I get here? Oh, a banged up fuel canister. A dented stainless steel canister for transporting and storing heavy fuel oil. A logo on its side has been partially stripped over years of use. The government issued red dyed fuel oil inside. Looks like paint, though it smells much, much worse. Government issued red dyed fuel oil. Fascinating. So it's going to look like blood. That's interesting. All right. Well, we're going to do this. Ha! Called it. But one thing that I do appreciate is that, because for me, I mean, you saw, like, as soon as I got out here, I was like, huh, and then I saw the bottle and I was like, is this Ocelot's doing? And I think I had actually thought about whether Ocelot was I thought that Ocelot might have crashed his car into something in around at the Whirling in Rags, because he seems like it's in character to do so. Basically, there's a lot of pieces that I think you can piece this together far earlier than the game tells you. So I appreciate that they don't, like, it's not like the characters don't get it and you get it, because if that goes on too long, that's very annoying. It can be annoying if you're supposed to get it and you don't get it and the characters get it and you're like, but that wasn't clear at all. But having, like, the balance of, like, how long it takes for it to be confirmed when there's a mystery to be solved, that's a hard thing to do. You have to know who your audience is and how likely they are to figure things out in certain ways. So, I don't know. I find that sort of thing very interesting. Shall we take Harry's badge? Oh, and it's going to show up in my inventory thing, too. RCM Commander's jacket. That sounds like I was kind of high-ranking. Esprit de Corps and Visual Calculus. Yeah, notice how my badge gave me a ding sound. Clothes. Here's my jacket. A black uniform jacket with RCM's signature white rectangle on its right sleeve and backside. Letters inside the collar read Lieutenant LTN 2JFR. The jacket is of exceptional quality, other than some minor wear and tear. That's interesting that it's of exceptional quality. I wonder whether Ocelot was at one point the best detective in his precinct. Looked like he was on a path to being the detective in charge, like whatever the, like, lead cop is. Captain? Is that it? I don't know. I don't watch enough police movies, sorry. But I kind of wonder whether, because it's of exceptional quality other than some minor wear and tear, which frankly means he doesn't wear it anymore. You know? This is not the coat that this is not his cop uniform that he wears on a daily basis. This is the cop uniform that he owned and probably wore when he was young and up and coming and saving the day and solving impossible cases with his brilliant mind. He was going to save the world. He was going to make a difference. And the woman that he loved was so proud of him for being a hero with an outstanding career trajectory, and everything looked like it was going so very well. I think that's the last time that this jacket got worn regularly, because daily wear garments don't have minor wear and tear only. They have more wear and tear. And consider literally every other piece of clothing that Harry owns that was his when we woke up. You know? So that would explain why they haven't fired him yet. And that would explain why Jean has such complicated feelings. I wonder whether, because Jean seems younger than him. Harry's not a young man, and Jean is not like a young man, but I think he's younger. I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to deal with this. We're doing this. I'm just gonna piece together stories that I have no reason to think that's actually how it is, but this is, my brain is writing the story, and my brain writing the story says that, oh, what the heck, let's do this. Are you ready for some speculation? Are you ready for mini golfing time? I feel like I should have something that we can do that's like mini golfing is happening, other than just like having the mini golf thing. Okay. So Harry, a young man in the spirit of disco, who grew up with the idealism of the disco movement, says to himself, I can make a difference in this world. I can do something about what's wrong with my home. I can help Martinez. I'm going to join the RCM. Brilliant mind, very capable, very competent. And he becomes a young detective with immense potential, who is doing fantastically well. He gets promoted so quickly. He's solving difficult cases. He's morally upstanding and a hero to all. He's what you think a cop should be like. He's what you idealize when you're a kid and don't understand how broken the police force is. That's what Harry wants to be, and that's what Harry does. He falls in love with a woman who is passionate and emotional and kind and open and honest, and she is head over heels in love with him, and he is head over heels in love with her, and she is so proud of him for being this heroic detective saving the day. Of course he gets the best uniform. Of course he gets access to a car. He's high ranking. He's fantastic. We're all so proud of him. He's actually going to make a difference in this world. He's going to be the revolution that we need here. But something goes horribly wrong. Something goes horribly, horribly wrong. Maybe she dies. Maybe she dies in childbirth because, or as a result of pregnancy or something like that, because that definitely adds to the potential trauma and loss there. Or maybe she's killed as a result of him having messed with the wrong people or something like that in his efforts to solve crimes. And so therefore, instead of compounding the trauma of the loss of her plus perhaps an unborn child, we have feelings of guilt that it is because of his own mistakes. That is one potential direction that the plot could go. But that would be if we were in a normal environment. The problem is, Martinez is not an ordinary place with some problems. It is like this whole, I don't remember what the right word for it is, but this whole area is actively destroyed. It's maintained in the pits. And there's this pervasive sense of hopelessness and despair and things you can't fix because you're not allowed to fix them. It's not allowed to be fixed. The people with power are preventing that. And the RCM has basically been cut off at the knees. Like it only has so much it can do as well. So it's possible that rather than some traumatic event happening, what could happen is that Harry, the idealist, who is doing so well and is so good at making a difference, comes across repeated cases where he can't make a difference, where he can't save people, he can't help things. No matter what he does right, he can't fix the problems. It's like bailing water out of a boat with a giant hole in its hull. It doesn't matter how good you are at bailing water, you're never going to be able to stop it from slowly sinking. And so it's possible that that could have simply broken him on some level. He may have started drinking then to cope with that. Like he could have started drinking to cope with loss if there was a traumatic loss separately. Or he could have started drinking to cope with the emotional distress of not being able, of being so well intended and not being able to make a difference. But regardless of whether it's triggered by an outside event or like the internal consequences of the world that he's surrounded by, because being an idealist, falling down, you have longer to fall and you take more damage when you land. Either way, he starts drinking, his performance starts slipping, his reputation starts crumbling. At some point, this younger detective, perhaps Jean, is assigned to him as a partner. And maybe Jean wanted to be a detective for his own reasons, but had heard of the legendary Harry Dubois, detective like none other, and was excited about, I get to be this great hero's partner and learn from him, only to find that instead of the great detective that he once was, instead he's this man that you see before you. And perhaps that's why Jean has such complicated feelings about him, because there does seem to be some complications there. And it could make sense. Like, it feels like some of the officers don't have any attachment to him, and some of them have attachment to him despite things. And that would make sense if at one time he had been like a worthy colleague who they loved and respected, and perhaps even admired and looked up to. He's fallen very, very far from that, if that's true. Far enough that you can't coast entirely on your past self, because he's fallen so far. But at the same time, I think perhaps the reason that he's still in the force at all is partly because he still has these, or at least the potential to have these exceptional detective skills, or whatever the equivalent of is in your playthrough. Your Harry will be exceptional in some way. He'll be an exceptional hot mess. But I think they can't get rid of him because of what he once was. But he's fallen so far that what he once was can no longer protect him from the consequences of his actions. But that could explain also why he had the car, why he was the one chosen to do. This is not a case that you should send your volatile cop who fucks everything up on. I don't know, but we also know that they did give him things that he was doomed to fail because they were tired of him being the way he was, because of the terrible case in which he bludgeoned a man into being permanently disabled. Like, that is so interesting. I'm sorry, this is so fascinating. This is such an interesting puzzle because we have pieces and we are building around the pieces we have. And I'm extrapolating a lot. There are things that I'm placing cards down with nothing underneath them. The game has given me nothing. So if this is completely 100% off base in some places where you're just like, where the hell did she get that from? It's not the game's fault. There are pieces that I've been given, but a lot of this is just purely as a writer who tells stories about characters and loves stories about characters and loves to think about why people are the way they are. My brain is filling in the gaps if this were a story that I encountered. So perhaps as we play through the rest of the game, perhaps we'll figure out whether there's any truth to this. I will also continue revising this as we go. But I will give this extrapolation a name. I feel like I should give this extrapolation a name so that I can reference it and be like, okay, we're now going to make some changes to, shall we call this the fallen genius concept? What do you think of that? Or the fallen hero? What do we think of that? Do we like that? I think fallen hero is better than fallen genius because he seems like it's not just about him being good at his job, it's also that he seemed, my guess is that he was earnest once upon a time, because of how that letter is written and imagining the person that letter is written to. So we're gonna go with the fallen hero theory. All right, because this is the jacket of somebody who is in a position of respect, and a fallen hero who feels terrible about about not being the man that he was when he earned this jacket, would not wear this jacket, but he also can't bring himself to let it go, so he keeps it in. This is his car, his jacket, his badge. Shall we look at this badge? LTN 2JFR. Lieutenant. Let's take a look at his badge and see if it gives us any more hints. Lieutenant 2JFR Dubois. Oh, change back to game screen. Yes, thank you. Okay. Because I feel like a commander, he's a lieutenant commander. I'm not sure, but let's take a look at this. Thick blue piece of acrylic covering a thin leaf of paper with the officer's name and rank on it. Look at him! Look at him! Look! Look! Hold on. Look at him. Look at how he's got, you know, he looks well maintained, like well taken care of, serious, earnest, professional. He still looks like the same person features wise because they have him facing the same angle. That's intentional. But he looks like his own son. Because we spent a lot of time looking at his face. I mean, maybe it's the expression, but it doesn't look like a leer. It doesn't look like a leer at all to me. It looks like maybe it's a crooked smile, but I like characters with asymmetrical smiles. Yeah, like he looks like a friendly, upstanding, reliable, decent person. Not like he's not like grinning like he's like Captain America and he's gonna save the day, but he looks very different, but also like the same person. That is very clearly intentional. Also, he's wearing a normal tie. Okay. Shall we go back to a normal size? I'm looking at this really big screen and I needed you to be able to see that. So. Thick blue piece of acrylic covering a thin leaf of paper with the officer's name and rank on it. Next to the writing, you see a man stare back at you. A younger version of you, already disintegrating inside, but still presentable on the outside. Interesting. So you have enough memory to know that when this photo was taken, things were already coming apart. That indicates to me, perhaps... Oh, so perhaps when he was promoted to the rank that he's at right now, things had already started going wrong, but not enough that he'd started actually coming apart. Hey, Jisoon, good to see you. Oh God, Chris Pratt playing Harry in the movie. No thanks. Chris Pratt has been plenty of things already. But yeah, if we're going by this fallen hero theory, then chronologically, I'm beginning to think it may be more of a more of a he lost her rather than, or more of a he fell apart and his life fell apart as a result. If he was disintegrating when he got promoted, then that, to me, that indicates that things are already beginning to go wrong, but he's holding it together. Then he got promoted, and then he stopped being able to hold it together at some point. It's been a while, though. Shall we interact with this? Let's interact with this.
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back.
Well, I'm relieved that Everett doesn't have this, although I think Everett still has my gun. Yay! That's gonna go well. By the way, if anyone is like G-Student, if you haven't played this game and you intend to ever, there's a lot of spoilers right now. There's big spoilers right now. So I would run. But it is nice to see you, and yeah, thank you. The hair is actually less blue. It doesn't hold dye very long, so this is, I think, 2 or 3 weeks in from bright blue to a slightly Swamp Thing. In another week, I will be fully Swamp Thing. I have the memory of a goldfish too, and this character also has memory loss, so we're both like... Yeah, the thing is, Everett follows what goes on around here, and he would know. He would know about the gun, and he would see to it that he would get it, because guns are not common in this world. All right. I found my badge.
At least something good came out of all this.
The lieutenant glances at the badge in your hands. Okay, I think I just leveled up. Let's study the badge.
Encased between 2 durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West.
Okay.
You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, and, in the lower right corner, your precinct.
Okay, all right. Oh, look at the photo. They're going to maybe actually show us the art, so I didn't have to close up on that, but look. I wanted to make sure you could see it, folks. Look at the photo.
The man keeps winking at you with his green-gray eyes. The photo is old, no doubt about that.
He's winking, huh? So he was actually genuinely playful instead of whatever this is now.
But the badge is new. You used an old photo for a new badge.
Oh. Oh. That is interesting. A lot of places won't let you do that. They'll make you replace your photo so that it looks like you, because the point of a photo is for you to be recognizable.
Good choice. A newer photo would look different.
Different. Worse? Is that what you're trying to say? Suggestion? I like the way that the word different had so much... There's yeah, yes, the delivery is perfect. How old? I'm thinking 20 years. I'm thinking 20 years.
8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns.
Massive sideburns. Okay, so 10 years. Only 10 years. My goodness, fellow. You... Drinking and hard drugs will age a person. Don't. If you can, don't. It's not good for you. Yeah, I was thinking he was like 50. And so this would have been when he was like 30. But he might actually be like 40, and this is when he was 30. I don't know, man. And he's winking. Why?
What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it does on you now.
He's old enough to have lived through the disco era, I think, because he enjoys reminiscing about that. We don't have specifics. So his face is already contorted by the expression. Okay, so that is a wink, a leer. It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't look bad. Okay, so he was already coming apart then.
The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
Name, Harrier Dubois.
Harrier? That's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't.
He is Harrier. He does have a lot of hair. Those are some rather prodigious sideburns that this man has. Okay. So Kim is piecing together that most likely Everett has an imperfect source of information. Is that a real name? We'll find out in the game. Wait, what kind of name is Harrier?
It's a wartime name. Revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times. Like Undying or Boxer or Ironhide.
Huh. Why would you name your child Undying? Or Boxer? Or Ironhide? The bird came before the fighter jet. So I assume the fighter jet was named for the bird. Is it a particularly vicious bird?
A name like armor.
Oh no, don't make me choose. I can't choose. I don't choose. Oh, a kind of hawk. Okay, that would make sense. For my convenience's sake, I have been distinguishing between Harry and Ocelot. He has also acted like he doesn't want to hear the name Harry. He doesn't like the name Harry. He is upset. Whenever it comes up, he feels bad. So that's part of why I was like, okay, if he feels towards the name Harry sort of like how somebody might feel towards a dead name, then like let's call him by a different name. And so from that perspective, it seems in character and proper to refuse this name. The gamer in me can't help but wonder if this is going to be a thought that I get to unlock. Kind of like, I wonder if this works out gameplay wise. Kind of like picking one of the political schools of thought, where if you accept this, then you can, what's it called? Be given thoughts and information. And like unlock more of his memories. But if you don't, then he says, I don't want to recover my memories. Like, you know? I wonder. Because like I want to know. I am curious about his story and his name and his everything. Like, I selfishly want to accept it to unlock a lot of name content, if that's how the game works. I don't actually understand how this game works, though, so I can't actually predict that. I just have a feeling that it might. And I want him to be able to be a new person. He has to clean up some of his mistakes of his old self. But I want him to be able to move on. I want to save, is what I want to do. And then pick one. Because I don't want to have to go through all of this all over again. I forgot about saving. Because I was just playing a game where you can't save or unsave. It auto-saves every time you close the game. Okay, I had an autosave recently. I think that
Why? It's a cool name. I like it. Besides, you're Harry anyway. No one's ever called Harrier.
yeah, I don't want to be Harrier Dubois. Kim thinks it's cool.
He's not going to call you Harrier. He'll keep calling you officer when he's angry with you, and detective when he's not.
I don't think I noticed. I don't think I picked up on that. I might not have pissed off Kim often enough or regularly enough to pick up on that. Because I picture him saying detective a lot. I don't know that I've noticed him calling me officer.
The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information.
I have a good score in Kim. Well, that's good. My friendship is high point level. All right. Rank LTN2JFR. Let's see what that is.
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
What the heck is a W freighter, and how was I supposed to read that?
The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant.
And W freighter?
The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're W Freighter.
I didn't expect to get confirmation about that quite so quickly. Wow! He was offered a promotion to captain twice and turned it down twice. Is that a thing that any actual system in the real world does? Or is this something that they made up so they have an excuse to let us know that that they've tried to promote him twice? Because I can't imagine. Really? It's a real word? Really? So it's kind of like we want to give you an honor anyway. Even if you won't take the promotion, we still want the honor to be recognized. Wow. They tried to promote him to captain twice. I feel like there's not a ton of captains. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I know a person can't be forced to take it. And that a person would say they don't want to take it. But why would that go on your record that they tried to give it to you? Like, why would your rank... Why would there be like a little marker that says we tried to promote this guy? Okay, so it's a way to give honor when the promotion is rejected. Like, is that... Well, I'm not asking you all to speculate about why he did or didn't take it. I'm not asking for clarification about Harry's motivation or what this could mean in his world or anything like that. I am asking one question. In real world situations, is there an environment in which if you turn down a promotion, they put a thing on you that says we tried to promote this person? Yes or no? This is not an invitation to tell me why you think Harry turned down promotion. Okay. So it is a military and a police thing. These are not things I have any first-hand experience with. So yeah, please be careful and be mindful. If I ask a question, please only answer the question that I have asked. If I wanna speculate together, I will invite that, but I usually don't. because that's usually not what I'm here for. So I imagine you're all just exploding because I did a big mini golf, but you're gonna have to sit with that together. Okay, so let's see. Declined. Kim?
There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors out of respect.
Yeah, so Kim is going to speculate for us some reasons why this might happen. And yes, please go to the Stream Spoilers channel and talk there. Kim is allowed. Kim, like Goombella, is allowed to speculate, but you guys are on watch. So there might not be another person. There might be somebody in the way, so we want to promote you and you can't fit there. Or you would be replacing somebody and you would feel bad. It could be that he doesn't feel right taking it. That he doesn't feel like he deserves it. It could be that he doesn't want to do the work that it would entail. There's a bunch of different things.
And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank. In your case, lieutenant.
Yes, if you want to stay out in the field. It's like trying to promote teachers to administration, but then they stop teaching. And so I've known teachers who turned down that kind of a promotion because they wanted to teach. And I had actually my boss, when I lived in Austin, my boss who I loved so much, who was my mentor, she had enough skill and experience that she could easily have been a director of some sort. But she didn't want that level of responsibility, and she liked doing the work. So she was the copy supervisor, and she supervised the copywriters and did copywriting herself.
Heavy-duty case-solving machine.
What's a décomptage? A heavy-duty case-solving machine. So that's me choosing. I suspect on some level Harry was choosing to remain a fieldwork detective.
Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol citizens' militia. It means counting down to twos.
What does that mean?
The countdown is modeled after the dual leadership system employed by the left during the revolution, which in turn was developed by last century experimental psychologists in the University of Königstein.
That is a German name. That's interesting that something in the RCM is still modeled after something from the Revolution.
The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kinks.
Curious about what those kinks are. Okay, so junior officers, patrol officers, sergeant, lieutenant, and then a captain. Okay. What kinks?
Kinks like satellite officers and the additionally a freighter rank I already explained.
Satellite officer?
The long and short of it is, you're his superior.
Oh, well, shut up, authority. Nobody cares what you have to say. So I can say, wait, satellite officers? Which I'm going to. So you've been putting up with all my bullshit because I'm your superior. So you've been putting up with me because we're the same rank. I'm going to ask about satellite officer first. And then say thanks. Wait, satellite officers?
You are given the title of satellite officer if your partner is quickly promoted through the ranks and you rise with him. You don't seem to be a satellite.
I wonder if Jean is going to be a satellite officer instead, because they're mentioning this, so it's going to have some significance. It's not just arbitrarily there for no reason. So I can either say, you've been putting up with all my bullshit because I'm your superior. So you've been putting up with me because we're of the same rank. I'm gonna do that. Because technically we're both lieutenants. And I'm going to extrapolate here and maybe make an incorrect assumption and be like, Harry doesn't want to think about those. I think he rejected the offered promotions. And he doesn't want to talk about them. So we're the same rank.
No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good police work.
I bet he says different things depending on what you've been doing. Someone pointed out that they thought that the reason why Joyce is so like willing and eager to talk to my Ocelot and answer his questions is because I've been role playing him as a nice guy who's a weirdo, but he genuinely cares about things and tries his best most of the time. And I guess maybe Kim likes me because I'm actually sort of generally trying to do my job and also not being a racist asshole. Despite an unconventional approach. Doing good police work. I wonder if you actually play through this with like as little clown shoes as possible. I wonder if he doesn't say unconventional approach. That's funny. It is. This is a nice like little summary here. But he is my Ocelot at least is doing a good job. He's doing a good job. Relatively speaking. Kim gets excited. Like, it's clear that Ocelot has skills and knowledge and a good brain underneath all the alcohol poisoning for doing detective work.
It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea. And now we've even found your badge.
He's like, listen, this is great. You do good police work and that's more important than your car. And coming from a gearhead, motorhead, whatever, that's pretty good. That's pretty high praise. Your police work is worth more than a car. Good job, Ocelot. And now we've even found your badge. It's very satisfying.
He trusts you for now. Try not to spoil it.
I thought my rank was drunk.
Yes, apparently you've had a rather successful career in the past, and this leads me to believe maybe your current situation is only temporary.
Yes, he was successful. He was good at his job. But he's poisoned himself so badly. Like, this has to have been going on. I mean, they've said 8 to 10 years since the last time they tried to promote him to captain. Now, it's possible also that they tried to promote him to captain to get him away from field work, and he refused it. Which would mean that in the, like... Though this badge is relatively new, the picture is 8 to 10 years old. So he's starting to come apart 8 to 10 years ago. But was holding it together well enough that they tried to promote him. Maybe a couple of years ago, he got this badge, maybe. I'm just clearly not going to choose option 3 is the thing. Because I feel like it is very, very clear that prior to our entering his life, that is the path that he was on. I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. And he tried really hard. He tried so actively to destroy himself. And destroyed everything but himself. And almost destroyed himself, and yet he still held on somehow. And so no, the way that we've been playing since then has been this is your second chance at life. I mean, it's possible you could be playing him, trying to grind him further and further into the dirt, like wallowing in self-loathing and self-destruction, just continuing the path of destruction that he clearly was going down prior to the player taking the wheel. So I wouldn't say that 3 is a meta option that shows his previous mindset. I mean, it does show his previous mindset, but I think that it could be a viable choice based on the choices that you've made in the past. Like, that could be an in character and tragic choice that would fit perfectly with a route that you could take through this game. But it would be absolutely jarring at this point. Like, the way that I am playing Harry, if he is self-destructive, it is, well, I will try to fix the world even if I have to use my own body to do it. Like, I deserve this suffering, he says. But I'm going to try to do the right thing and see if I can do some good despite the damage I've done. I'm going to see if I can do some good before I die. And so that, to me, is the self-destructive path that is in character for my Ocelot. So my other 2 options here are, thanks, that gives me hope, or I'm afraid there are no ex-alcoholics. Yeah, no, the choices, the choices do show up, and it's good. Like, you can veer down a bad path at any point. And I keep waiting for the game to force my hand. I keep waiting for withdrawal to rear its ugly head to such a degree that I lose control over Ocelot and he takes drugs or starts drinking again, because you really can't quit cold turkey without consequences, sometimes fatal consequences. So I'm kind of worried that Ocelot is going to have a heart attack or something like that, and die because I'm making him quit cold turkey. I'm aware that that is a risk I am taking. That is a self-destructive urge. Ocelot has tried to destroy himself actively. He did not succeed at that, despite rather explosively making an attempt. So instead, he's pivoting from self-destruction. He's pivoting from external self-destruction to internal self-destruction. And I'll try to save him along the way if I can. But to me, it feels like the self-loathing is in there too deep. So, let's see. I want to be able to pick option 1. If I picked option 1, it would be to make Kim feel better. Kim is trying to make me feel better, and I would let him feel like he was making me feel better. However, I think I'm going to try to be relatively honest with him. It's not... You aren't an ex-alcoholic. You're in recovery. And that's still a worthwhile and important thing. And it is to be commended and respected and honored. But it is true, it's not the same. There are a few things, either for chemical or emotional reasons, that kind of, once you've entered into a state where that is how you are, it never fully leaves you. It's like if you have had a disordered relationship with eating, that will never not be part of who you are. It can fade into the background, but it will be dormant. And that's just sometimes how these things go. So you just do the best you can with it, and you can live a perfectly good and fulfilling life. It's just, I think it's interesting. Like, If something in you gets broken a certain way, sometimes you can never go back to the way things were before you were broken, but you can patch it up. I'm going to say, I'm afraid there are no ex-alcoholics. But there are people in recovery, and I really hope that Kim comes back with that, because that is the right response. And to any of you who might struggle with this, or who have people you love who struggle with this, that is meaningful. Being in recovery, being sober is meaningful. It is important. It is hard and a struggle, but it is still something that I recognize and honor.
People have been through worse and gotten back on their feet, Lieutenant de Balefreiter.
He says with a reassuring little smile. He's like, you're clearly competent. I could tell that there was competency in you. And it'll come back, and I'm going to try to encourage it to come back. All right, let's turn back to the document.
Such a small yet precious thing. Expensive paper caught between thick plastic, like a fly in amber. It reads,
Hi, Alex. Well, welcome. That's a lot of VODs to keep up with. Well, I hope you enjoy. Spoilers. This is where we are now. It's very exciting. I might have done things a little out of order. But don't worry. I have talked a lot. And now you can catch up and then get to the point where you dropped out and you can see your name and be like, hey, that's me. Well, I'm glad to know that the queer tag, that people actually look that up. Yes, we are very queer here. We do not tolerate bigotry. Animal flag. I have a flag. Anyway, I'm gonna put this over here. Yes, this is an aggressively inclusive community. All right, let's continue digging into Ocelot's past while Kim tries to give him pep talks. I wonder if Kim wouldn't try to give me pep talks if I'd been a racist jerk earlier. Or I guess the pep talks probably would have been different. They wouldn't have been as warm, maybe. All right, serial. Rev 126205, Jam 41. Okay, so Jam 41, that's Jamrock Precinct 41. I can tell that. Revachol 12. Something 62, something 05. But that's got to be Revachol, and that's got to be Jamrock. So we do the Jamrock shuffle, which is to say, we wander around everywhere, click on everything, pick things up, and talk to everyone. I don't actually do that in real life, though, because picking things up off of people's desks and things is rude. All right, serial.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure.
I remembered things, I remembered things, I remembered things. Look, when you have memory issues, you gotta celebrate them. Or you don't celebrate the memory issues, you celebrate your memory when you remember things. It's very exciting. I'm very excited. All right, date of issue, 7th of November, 50. I think we're in 52. I think we're in 52. So this would be 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they offered me captain, and I said no the last time. And so this is the updated and refreshed one with the second. Oh, 51. Oh. Wait, that's just a few months ago. This has to have been issued because I lost my old one. There's no way they offered me. There is no way that I managed to damage myself that badly in 5 months. This is April, right? Isn't it April? Is it April? I feel like it's April. I think. If they've told me. March. Okay. Well, in that case, 4 months. He can't have destroyed his body this badly in 4 months. There's no way. Maybe they were trying to get him off desk duty in that case. No, I don't think he would do that. Captain is still really important. I don't know. Or on desk duty, rather. Well, we'll see. Date of issue, 7th of November, 50.
4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter.
Okay, so yeah, maybe they did try to promote him to get him out of cases so they could keep an eye on him.
A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
Either that or I lost my last badge and they had to reprint it. That seems more likely. We'll see.
You're pretty sure you weren't doing well, but better? Probably yes.
There's supposed to be an emphasis on the word well there, but that's okay. The voice actor does tremendously with a massive amount of line work, so.
A lot can happen in 4 months, especially in winter. The winters are never easy on you, of that you are sure.
What happened in winter years ago then? 8 years ago. Okay, well, I feel like this is a lot of downhill to go in 4 months. I don't have first or even secondhand experience with addiction, so I don't know. I don't actually know what is feasible there. But I'm glad that my skills and I are puzzling through this together. We're both on the same page with like 4 months. What does this mean for our timeline?
I remember that time! That was a good time. We had a good work-drink balance going. What happened, man? Pump it up!
The tie around your neck feels tight suddenly. Did you notice the screen color got a little darker again? Darker, maybe a little reddish tinted. Okay. So the drinking escalated tremendously at that point. A work-drink balance going. Okay. 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 Because I've been trying to figure out because... No, he has the tie on right now. I don't know if you can take it off. Yeah, he may have been a functional alcoholic and then that's when he slid into non-functional. Precinct 41?
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41. Like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor. A lot of asphalt. The 41st is...
He stops. What?
It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is.
Okay, so... Wow. And then I crashed one of their cars. It does feel like I think it would make sense for the job to have been what broke him and perhaps also drove off the woman that he loved because he was broken. Like they make it clear that he's in a tough situation. His work is a tough situation.
It's no wonder you are like you are, he thinks. But then again...
But then again what?
But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva.
Okay, so there are people who were heroes, or are heroes, to other precincts as well. Districts, whatever. Do I know those names? I feel like I've heard this one before, but I don't know. Okay, some of us have a hard time pronouncing names from other languages that we don't speak. I'm judging by Kim's actor's accent that he is at least bilingual because he speaks English with a strong enough accent that I assume that it is his second language that he is fully fluent in. So he has more of an excuse than I do. My excuse is just I'm bad with languages. It's very sad for me. French is really hard too. Apparently, my ability to say words in Spanish has improved dramatically since living with a roommate whose first language is Spanish, though. I can't roll my R's, and there's a lot of the sounds that I literally can't, I will never be able to make. Maybe some of them I would be able to, but I can say it well enough that it's like, yes, that counts as the right word. Good effort. And I'm like, okay, I'll take it. That's how I feel with my my French is I try. I really, really do try, but I know that's how it is. If I say a word or a name that is connected to a language that you speak, you're welcome to try to help me with it, but please do not be harsh, and please understand that I try to do my best. It's hard.
Roberts, Feuerbach, Dimitri. Suddenly, names from your decomptage flash in your forebrain.
Oh man. Well, so what's fun about the counting system in French is that we do actually have an equivalent to 80 in English, which is fourscore. And so things that are archaic or that are trying to sound archaic will sometimes use fourscore. Like there's a famous speech that Abraham Lincoln gave, the Gettysburg Address, 7 years ago. Is that right? Our forefathers. I don't remember the rest of it, but it's very clearly the French influence on English. I don't think that was a thing that English did on its own, but I might be wrong. I don't actually know if I know the etymology of that, but it feels very much like there's a period of time during French conquering England that French was kind of like a language of the educated, and so I wouldn't be surprised if it trickled down through that somehow. I used to know more about the history of the English language. I really like it. I love the English language so much. It's such a like stubborn, obnoxious, inconsistent, contrary bundle of words, and I love it so much. It delights me. Okay, so bits of memory are flashing up for Ocelot here. So these things aren't gone for good. That's the thing. So I kind of wonder if we'll be able to get more as we go. Also, something I really enjoy is that these are names from different, like, even if their countries don't have, like, even if they are not from countries in our real world, they are from countries with analogs in our real world. And so these are names from different parts of the world.
He knew all those people, although they're not from his station. They must be big.
Thanks, reaction speed. Okay. So there were great and famous detectives in your district that even people in other places have heard of and admire.
The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
Alright, I think that's all I can do with this badge for now, so we will put it away. Well, that was exciting! Officer profile incomplete. Locate halogen watermarks. But I have those now. Oh, wait, I did track down my gun. Oh, okay. Well, it counts as being tracked down anyway. I thought... Okay. I guess, is it a new one? Send victim's body to processing. No? Okay. Well, I thought there was a new one. Hold on. No, it's okay. Okay, so I have... Wait, do I have 3 skill points? No, I have 3 skill points in... no, wait. I have 3 skill points. When did that happen? I thought I had 2. Okay, we are thinking about the 15th Indo tribe. Wow, I'm still getting visual calculus things. I don't want that. Okay, yeah, metaphor for Revachol in the 30s. I feel like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll figure it out when I figure it out. Okay, so the 15th Intertribe, we'll see what that is. So I'm looking at all of these. Blood oxygen is boring. Okay. I think I want to put on my jacket. All right. Okay, Harry. We need to get you some new pants. But like, if you compare that to the disco-ass blazer, it seems like it's in worse shape. Is all. But it's still where was? Oh, I did like the shivers. Oh, and this was actually a good one to have. As much as I don't necessarily care about having cop points, this was a good one to have for this particular moment in the game. But yeah, like if you read like the description of his pants, they're really gross. Oh, that's right. Got an antique gun. Oh yeah, I still need to. There's some stuff I still need to dig up. Some stuff I still need to figure out. Hold on, we're gonna go look at things. Footsteps. Footprints. Footprints in the snow. They lead away from the accident. Okay, we're gonna go over here and take a look, and then maybe we should turn back. The underside of the boat has recently been tarred, so someone's been here recently. Ale Lusen? I don't know what that is. Oh, quick travel unlocked. Okay, that's like a whole nother area. Maybe we won't go there. There's gonna be people and stuff. Maybe we shouldn't do that. So, oh, I had a thought. What is that thought? What's that? What was that thought? What was that thought? No. What's that thought? What was that thought? Give it back. Give it back.
Great news. The boat is big enough for a grown man like you to fit underneath it in a supine position.
Wait, what would I be doing under there?
I don't know. Sleeping? What do people do under boats? This is merely a measurement from your visual cortex. Do with it what you want.
What? Great news! I found somewhere new to sleep.
Huh?
I said, great news! I found somewhere to sleep. Points at the boat. Under this boat here, it'll be free. 2. I can pretty much finish the case from under that boat there. It's dry, weatherproof, and free of charge. 3. I'm gonna live under a boat now. Oh, amazing. I'm pretty sure you can't actually. I'm pretty sure that's actually dangerous. I'm gonna live under a boat now. These are all the same thing. I'm not sure what the difference is with them. Oh, life gets tough. Give up and live under a boat. Maybe. I suppose you can sleep anywhere. I guess. I'm pretty sure that you would freeze to death. Unless you were, like, sufficiently off the ground. I said, great news. I found somewhere to sleep. Under this boat here. It'll be free.
Sarcastic self-pity is not what we need at this moment, officer.
He said officer. Now I know he's not happy with me. I got officered instead of detective.
I understand the situation looks grim, but we must continue with our investigation.
Thank you for following, Pink Floyd Max.
Think of it as a salvation. You have a home somewhere. All cops do. When this is done, you can return.
Okay, I don't know what that did. Maybe I could have unlocked a thought, but I didn't. Oh, this is it. This is the boat. Okay, well... Wait, did I go in there? Oh no, I can't do this. There's too much stuff and I want to look at all of it, folks. I'm gonna need to come back. I'm gonna need to come back. What do you mean I can't pick up the bottles? I would normally explore it, but the game itself told me not to. The game said don't, Lauren. The game said don't do it. The game said don't get distracted. You've still got things to do over there. Traffic beyond the gate. More abandoned motor lorries. Trucks. The sign says no entry. Someone scribbled an inverted star on it. Okay, that seems to be locked. Maybe. An inverted star. I know that significance. Well, but there's things that I haven't done, and I don't want to get so distracted that I don't do them because I have ADHD. You know? So where's the next broken water lock? Har har. Oh, I could talk to Everart's goons, but I don't want to. I can call about the armor wearer, and I can ask these guys about traffic stuff, not traffic stuff, smuggling stuff. Oh wait, hold on.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
Hold on, we need to save. Yes, I was figuring calling about the armor is probably not a big one, so we can probably do that. All right, let's try this.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Did you find out more about the owner of the armored boots?
Sorry, sir. I still haven't heard back from the database people. Try calling again later. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, that's okay.
57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a...
Okay. I thought it was sometime today, but I guess it's like gotta be closer to 24 hours, and it's still morning, so I'll call in the afternoon.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
I heard that one of the drivers is a woman, but I don't think she's here. Do you know this lady driver?
I don't want to talk about that.
He shifts around, suddenly uncomfortable, then looks away. So I can either say, why? Do you know something? What is it? Or, I don't mean to pry, but I need your help. She may be involved with the drug business. Or, okay, let's change the subject then. I'm gonna say I don't mean to pry, but I need your help. I'm gonna appeal to him man to man. See if it works.
Man, I was hoping it isn't gonna be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
We're gonna ask some questions. Who is this person? What's her name?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why.
Huh. Okay. Who is she to you?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay?
What does she look like?
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Kim.
Blue and violet. Dyed. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
He answers reluctantly. He doesn't want to do this.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Yeah, that's good to know. Gosh, you can't trust those people with blue hair. You never know what they're going to be up to. All right. Like, I want to ask him about this, but I don't want to ruin my friendship with him. Okay, Lauren. I asked you who's conducting the drug trade. You said you didn't know. Now you're saying you don't. You do. The thing is, like, he doesn't know. He was hoping it wasn't going to be her. So he wouldn't have offered her up immediately. I'm curious. I'm immediately picturing Ramona Flowers because I have now seen the Scott Pilgrim movie. I have not seen the anime, but I'll do that eventually. I'm gonna kind of ask this. Like, come on, man. I thought we were friends. I asked you who's conducting the drug trade. You said you didn't know. Now you're saying you do.
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
Okay, that makes sense.
He still is. Hoping. It's just wishful thinking on his part. Not trickery.
Yeah. He's like, but she was cool. I don't want the cool person to be bad.
It's true. We would have caught a lie. But a kind heart is tricky.
Yeah. I love it. I love empathy and drama. Like, there's just something about this, like, it's like a team up attack, you know? Like, the skills are united on this one. They're like, we got this, man. You put points into the things that would have let us know if he was lying, but he wasn't lying. So it's fine. We didn't let you down. He didn't let you down.
Bah. Emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact.
Okay, rhetoric, I love you, but I'm going to side with both empathy and drama here. These are some of my favorite skills, so I love them. So let it be known that I'm disagreeing with rhetoric about something. It might be a technicality, but it's an important technicality. Okay, when did she leave?
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
Okay. He looks you straight in the eye.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
Yeah, okay. Kim is like, if I let Ocelot do this, he's a bleeding heart. So he might just be like, oh, all right, man. I wouldn't want to hurt your friend.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
He shakes his head.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Will you believe me? Maybe not, because I pushed you. Well, I'm going to say believe us. It really is.
I just can't, man. I'm not naive.
Okay. You said she's troubled. How?
She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
That's not limited to young people. But I did go through a period of really intense depression when I was a teenager. I don't know if that's the sort of thing he's talking about.
She shared this with you?
I don't know if it's unusual to talk about this sort of thing in this setting.
Yes, which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
I was told everyone's afraid of her. You're not? Because I can either say it's not snitching, it's just a few questions, or come on, man, life is just a joke, which is not an answer. So I was told everyone's afraid of her. You're not?
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Yeah. I do really like Tommy. I'm glad that he's not a bad dude. I would have been really annoyed if he was actually secretly doing bad things.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
He doesn't know Kim.
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
Hold on, her mind? I like that he's like, oh man, yeah, it probably is her. Well, I'm not gonna turn you on her. I'm not gonna tell you where she is, but like, yeah, like he can't even be like, no, she wouldn't. There's no way. He's like, oh, I was hoping it wouldn't be her. So hold on. Her mind?
The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her.
Where is my follow-up question? In another playthrough of a game, there's a follow-up question that goes there and I don't get to ask it and I'm really mad. I'm like quivering with wanting to ask follow-up questions. I'm so mad that I can't right now, okay? I'm so mad that I can't. This is exactly what I want to talk to this person about. Okay, so probably we'll encounter her and it's probably the sort of thing that could go very bad. Yeah, no, it's probably locked behind a skill check and I'm mad. What good are a million points in empathy if they're not going to let you be able to start asking follow-up questions about somebody's mental struggles? Well, I want to be able to ask about them so that I can do better when I talk to her. Inevitably, I'm going to talk to her, and I really want to do well in that conversation. I've decided that that's important. Tommy has convinced me that I need to go in and try to approach her with compassion and empathy. But my compassion and empathy are letting me down. When she left, did she leave her lorry behind?
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one.
I mean the racist.
Wait, this guy says they're friends, then acquaintances. And he's okay with others ratting her out.
Yes, Rhetoric, he just doesn't want it on his own conscience, okay? He knows there's a possibility she might be doing something bad, but he doesn't want to be the one that has to make that choice. It's not that hard, man. Empathy, please tell this one off.
Push Tommy and it will break his heart and his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals.
That's not what I wanted you to do, empathy, but you're right. Thank you, empathy. Okay. So I can say, so you're all right with others ratting her out. You just don't want your hands dirty. Put yourself in my shoes. I need this for another investigation too. It's important. I can't blow it. That's not going to work. She's a suspect and I need you to tell me where she is or I can't finish the investigation. Or fine, I will drop the matter for now and find another way. I want to be friends with Tommy. I bet there's another way. See, this one feels like this is only unlocked because I passed something with rhetoric. Because, like, empathy is telling me that the forcing one is definitely bad. Fine, I'll drop the matter for now.
Thank you, friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again. Would help with my rhymes, too.
When they say find another way, that means there is another way. I just have to figure it out. And this isn't... I don't think that they'll screw you. I don't think that they'll be like, we're going to force you to choose between two things you don't want to do. Oh, do you see how edgy we are? I don't think that's how they roll. Like, there'll be difficult choices where, like, no option is a good option, but I don't think that they'll set it up specifically to be like, haha, gotcha. So. Okay. Conceptualization. I need to do something to do that better. That's all for now. Bye. Okay, well, that happened. That's not right. What is conceptualization? Where is that? Hello. Not to be confused with visual calculus. I get these two confused. Understand creativity. See art in the world. Oh, I'll probably need this in order to be able to paint and leave my mark on that wall. Yeah, no resolution. It's one thing to be like, in this situation there are no good answers, just do the best you can. But if it's like, haha, you didn't want to do that thing that's terrible. Well, instead you have to do this other thing that's terrible. Which one are you going to do, huh? All right. Conceptualization. Not cop, but art cop. Make fresh associations, delve into word concepts. God, that is a lot of words. Revichal's arabesque architectural style. Derrida. High levels of conceptualization makes it go big, perhaps too big. Ostentatious, demanding, grand displays. Hidden drama are probably. Why live life when you can throw yourself into a live volcano? Only boring people will invite you to their dust parties. It's a good one. Yeah, I mean, we could do that. Why don't we save and then try it? There we go. Yeah, God, that is a lot of words. Is Disco Elysium. Okay, let's give it a try.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Let's hit him with my best verse.
Your best verse? You don't even have a bad...
Oh, I did this, didn't I?
That's brutal, man.
No, stop. He's already...
Oh, no. Okay, yeah, I didn't want this. Okay. Yeah. We're not... There's a reason why. There's a reason why I didn't do that. Because I tried it, and I decided that I didn't want the failure. Maybe if I read some poems, I'll get better at poetry. Alright, well, on that note... on that note... I could try to spend a point. Yeah, maybe. I want more points in empathy because I feel like empathy let me down. I want more points. I want more points in logic. I think encyclopedia is doing pretty well. Rhetoric. Volition and empathy. I guess empathy's doing pretty well, really. 7 seems pretty good. I could put a point in conceptualization and see what happens. Yeah, maybe I'll get a poet shirt. You never know. We'll get some poet gear and then we'll come back and do poetry. Like, I probably ought to put a point in anything that isn't reaction speed down, like here or here. Oh, God, I should put a point in something here. Oh, I really should. Am I gonna? No. So I could put a point in conceptualization. I don't think I could put enough composure points in to stop from sweating around gay twinks. I'm sorry. I would love to put another point in shivers, but unfortunately my shivers is as shivery as it's going to get for the time being. I might be able to do something about it, but... I love how Inland Empire is 7 and I put exactly 0 points in it. I have not tried. Oh, man. Like, conceptualization seems interesting. But I also don't want it to get too high. It definitely sounds like one that would be too much. You got your authority to -3. Nice. Nice. I only got mine down to 3, but I've tried. Yeah, conceptualization seems really interesting, and it seems like it would play nicely with some of my other points, you know? Like, drama has recently started showing up, and it's fun. So maybe... And visual calculus is showing up, and it's fun. Yeah, no, Inland Empire could be completely insane. Part of it is that I have a necktie on. It's fine. I've made my peace. Now that I have reconciled that Ocelot's Inland Empire isn't the same as my Inland Empire, I'm good. I mean, I always want to put my points in empathy and rhetoric. Those are my favorites. Volition is really good, though. Logic has been speaking up a lot. I might do logic and conceptualization. Sorry, drama. You can be my dump intellect. It's okay. It's not as bad as authority. Thoughts exist. That's true, but there aren't any thoughts that I'm like, okay, so the 15th in the tribe I really want. Motorway South, I'm really curious about, actually. Good night, DJ. DJ K-Wall. You have to tell me what I should call you. Like, the precarious world is interesting, but I don't want that. Okay, DJ. Okay, I can do that. All right, friend. Well, have a good night. You'll just miss me maybe putting points and things. Or maybe I have to sleep on it, and then next week I'll put points and things at the start of our stream. How does that sound? Because I don't want rigorous self-critique. I don't think. I really want Motorway South. I really want to know this. But this is going to require 2 points because I have to unlock another one of these. Because too much self-critique is a bad kind of self-destruction. I don't want to go there. No, but unlocking is 1 point and then learning it is another point. So it will be 2 points. It doesn't cost to start. Oh, I thought it did. Oh, okay. Well. I suppose... I want Motorway South. I'm sorry. I mean, like... Don't you want to know more about the Pale? I want to learn about the Pale. Okay. I guess we'll do that. And then we're going to internalize Motorway South. All right, we got world building. We're cooking some serious world building here. And I think we're going to get, we're going to get the 15th Ender tribe sometime soonish, which I'm really excited about. Maybe by the time we get this, I'll have a slightly better idea of what all this stuff means. And then this one's going to be exciting. And, okay, I've still got 2 points. I could put a point in logic or conceptualization. I really like my signatures. I really like empathy and rhetoric. So I don't want anything to threaten rhetoric and empathy as my my ultimates. Although I'm happy to report that I have started getting annoyed and disagreeing with rhetoric. Like, shut up, rhetoric. Which is, I think, I know that 6 is probably not super high, but, let's see. Mind will not change, whose mind will calcify. Yeah, okay, I want to keep rhetoric good, but not, like, that's not one that I want to go too high. Yeah, volition is definitely good. It keeps you from going as insane, which is great. It and Inland Empire are here in a corner fighting. So I started putting points in volition because I like it. Empathy. What's the downside of empathy? Oh, right. Oh. This is very, very sympathetic. I get it. Empathy is definitely my signature skill in real life. It's a problem. I'm like, gosh, I'm like imagining how unhappy my cat is. It's hard for me to take her to the vet because I'm just so upset thinking about how upset she is. It's like, no, you just have to do it. It's fine. She can stand with being unhappy for a few hours. Like, that's okay. But it's hard. It's hard to accept that others can be in pain or discomfort that you could do something about, but you shouldn't do something about, because doing something about it, either it's still worth it, or the cost that you would have to pay to do something about it is not worth it to you, or it's not your obligation or your responsibility. Like, it's been a very difficult life lesson, internalizing that I don't have to fix everyone else's problems if there's any possible way I can. Anyway, that's a tangent that is too long for today and not interesting. I'm gonna think on this. Next stream, we'll start off by putting a point in something. Oh God, codependency. Yeah, that's been a problem. That's been a problem. But I think that's another one of those things that gets better the more you work at it. So there's that. Okay, yeah, so next stream we'll start off and we'll put a point maybe into logic, maybe into conceptualization. And then the following point, because I always have to keep one in my pocket just in case I need to redo a check. It's very important. Oh good, it's raining in game. And then from there we may put another point in volition, rhetoric, or empathy next. Because I guess empathy will eventually not allow me to pick the options that would upset other people and stuff. That would be really interesting. Okay, well, we'll find out eventually how many points we can put. But given that it appears that we can be in the teens of points, I figure I can probably get to 8 and probably be okay. Probably want to be careful if I get to 10 or above, though. That's probably when you start getting into the downsides more. Anyway, I think that's all I've got. I have more things I need to get done, so I should really not sit here forever. But I am really enjoying the music. Oh yes, there's a concert on Sunday. Oh shoot, I forgot to tell people about it before they started leaving. Ah, shoot. Okay, so the concert on Sunday starts at 6:30 Eastern. And I will be performing at 7:55 p.m. Eastern, which is a lot later than I would normally want to, but it is what it is. So my apologies for the people for whom that is too late. But I figure if you're here now, that's probably okay. So I'll put that in the comments. I can't believe I forgot to mention that during primary stream when other people would hear it, because a lot of folks will have missed it, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm working on learning some new music or arranging some new music for it. So hopefully that'll come together. Yeah, have a good night, everybody. I will see you all later. Thank you so much for joining me. And yeah. Bye.